Alright, here we go. Welcome back to the Agamemnon game review. Today we're going over the footage that was shot on the 16th of August, 2018. It's a short footage, it's only about 15 minutes long, a little over 15 minutes. I had jumped in to play and then I started feeling really tired and so I backed out. So I'm gonna upload this video with stuff that happened on the 17th to make for a longer video. So we're continuing on from where we left off from the previous day, which was the 15th. Up to this point, it's only about, what, 3 days after the launch of Battle for Azeroth. I'm having a really good time. And then I haven't found too many problems with the expansion. We're starting in the main temple there. I call it the Sun Temple, but at this point, I'm well aware that there are people who've already reached level 120. I know I will not be one of those. It's gonna take me a while to get to 120. I'm a slow player. But at this point, we've adventured through the south part of the town and the north part of the town. We finished all that, and we were able to select what Loa we wanted to follow. We took the one of flight and tested out the little noids there. And we're going to continue on in the forest here.
Greetings.
On the east side there. Working our way to the west side. The closest flight point is where we were last at. Luckily, close to there were the little flight noids. Those little Loa noids, as far as I know, at least it's been exposed to, they only go really around the town, so the furthest one out takes you just right to the edge of town. And from there, we had to pretty much use our horseback, which for me, it's not a big deal. I like using my regular Warlock mounts whenever possible. The traditional Warlock mount. I wanted to make sure I was following the correct road path. See the end clock. End game clock's at 3 minutes, which is true. One of the best things about being Forsaken is you don't have to breathe. So whether you're underwater or walking around, it's always the same. We don't have to worry about the inconvenience of oxygen and air like the other people on Azeroth. The living. You know, when you're adventuring around Zandalar, you can't help but wondering if a Gungan's gonna jump out at you with the Jaja Binks. We have a great army. The monster matchmaker. This was kind of funny. In that you had to help them fix up these two Brontosaurus. And you had one guy that was a witch doctor, and the other is the goblin scientist. Weird. I've never seen a goblin with pink hair before, but or fuchsia hair. Up to now, I thought all goblins were kind of bald. All goblins look alike. It was at this point I was starting to feel really tired. When you have ADHD and OCD, a lot of times when you start feeling sleepy, it comes on suddenly. Like you could have a lot of energy one moment, and all of a sudden you start feeling super tired, and then it's a matter of moments until your whole body just shuts down. And you start feeling it. But I believe I had work this day, and I came home and started playing it, and then I knew I had the next day off, so that's why I quickly ended the round and came back the next day. Started playing where I left off. I always like to make sure I leave off in a place where I can get rest XP. And the dialogue here is kind of funny as it goes on to the whole story arc. You have an older guy and a younger girl. So you have this dynamic of old young troll and goblin. Tall and short man, woman, and but in reality, they don't really know what they're talking about, which becomes evident as you go further with the quest. It's good, herbalist. Herbalist. I like to grab herbs as I'm walking by. And at this point, I'm really starting to feel tired. I normally don't like to leave in the middle of a quest, but nature does take its course sometimes. And you kind of have to. I believe what ended up happening is I collect all these herbs today, or during this recording, and then I did all the animals on the next recording. Then when I came back. Now for me, because I'm an avid adventurer, this is fun for me. I like walking around, seeing all the sights, exploring the land, taking my time, meeting all the different animals and floral. Initially, I'm always kind of skeptical because, when you start a new expansion, you're starting off at a low point. You're trying to grind up to a higher point. And I like to work my way into fighting the beast because you never know how strong they are in comparison to you. And one of the things I did during the pre-patch expansion was get a sense of how the different what's the word? I don't want to say eye level, but the difficulty now because the equipment had the way that they're doing the soft stats is a little different. So try to get a feel for that prior to the launch of the expansion. But now I'm starting to really get a sense of it as I'm walking around. Because you don't really know until the expansion goes live. And I did not play through the beta. No one sent me a alpha key, so I couldn't play the alpha, and I didn't want to play the beta because I feel if you really like a game, never play the beta. It'll just ruin everything for you. I try to only attack the aggressive ones, and the neutral ones I try to avoid. But here's where I decide to call it a day. And that's it for this. We'll catch you on the flip side, which should be part 1 of the 17th of August. Have fun.